Okay, I think I just learned that pressing spacebar starts streaming OBS, which is very good to know, but it's also a happy little accident because I was gonna stream anyways. So I will be back in, let's call it 30 seconds. All right, I am back. Let me check the stream real quick on a different computer. Creator dashboard. All right, stream manager. Okay, So let's get started. And this is where we are, right? All right. So I'm gonna work on clue again, and I kind of like last time started and then started working and then decided to stream it. So let's decide what to do. As usual, I don't usually have a plan when I just feel like working on a side project, but yeah, let's see what we can do today. So the thing I started doing, by the way, is adding a option for this is literally all the code I wrote. It's just 2 lines. I added an option called strict symbol name. So let's add that. Support strict symbol lookup. I also would like to rename some files. Reorg query APIs. So renaming something and probably move things into different namespaces. And then there are tons of stuff I could be doing. I could be writing documentations. I could do any of these. Yeah, I want to definitely work on efficient repeat, multiple queries. Yeah, let's start with this list. I think it's pretty good. More. We'll decide when we're done whether we want to do more. Yeah, okay. List is long enough. Let's start. Okay. Yeah, so I added a new flag called strict symbol name. Actually, I don't like the I don't like the word name in here. Maybe we can just call strict symbol or lookup. I kind of like this flag to be long so that it indicates it's not like something you need normally. Yeah, okay. Strict symbol lookup. All right, so our goal here is to actuate a particular flag, which is this one. Strict symbol lookup. Cool. And this will simply be strict symbol lookup. And we're always strict in the sense that we never use the subsequence and ignore cases flags. We could extend it if in practice this came up, but I feel like the main problem with this utility right now is the fact that there aren't there are very likely in a large project multiple definitions you end up getting just by a string, right? Yeah. just by a string, given a random string in a large project, most likely you will find multiple matches just from the definition step. But in order to actually look up a reference for symbol definitively, deterministically, 100%, we need to know precisely which definition we're dealing with. Okay. Great. So we've added this, which could mean we need to update the call side here. Which means we need to do strict symbol lookup. And then so this object now is getting extensive, right? We have 5 fields now. So maybe that's a good thing to do also, which is making it a struct or something. I need to think about this a little bit more. But we have a to-do item to reorganize this stuff anyways later, so we'll do that then. But this requires me to update USR query to add that field. Strict lookup. And lookup here is one word, so we don't capitalize U. Let's see. So I've what else? I'm guessing in main, whenever we use a system. Yes, here we do strict symbol lookup is options dot strict symbol lookup. I'm guessing that's it. Looks good. Looks okay. Oh. Let's run that in here. Right, so strict symbol lookup in all our tests so far are false. We probably need to add a test for that. Everything else should be A-okay. Yep, all right, we're done. Change a bunch of files, commit it, add strict symbol lookup flag when this is set. Partial symbol names will not match as prefix of the symbol. All right. How do you make a branch in this? I forgot. branch. Populate command with git branch. Populate command with git checkout. I see. So say B. Say B. Okay, git branch. But I would never want git branch though. Hold on. Oops. Checkout -b. Git blame. I don't know. This doesn't seem right. If you just say git branch and then a branch name, it just creates the branch, right? And that's not what I want. Okay, enough of this. Get, what did it call it? Strict something something. Apparently not. Okay. Okay. So that's that. All right, let me do the reorganization of things. So things I want to do is probably want to move this thing out. Yeah, I want to move this to a global object. Probably also give it its own file. Query. All right. Move this here. Fix a couple of things. Oops. Okay, all good. So now that this is a top level project object, I would also like to move a couple of things into its namespace. this being one. Hello? Why can't I move this file? That's so strange. I can move this file, right? Okay. So this file I would like to be query plus store. And then I would like to extension query, and then move this guy in here. And then overall, we just rename that thing store query. Okay, here are a bunch of store query references. And let's use our good old Perl. Store query. I think they should just become store. But a lot of them are global references. So we need to also add query.store. So this guarantees it works, but in some cases it could be redundant. What's up with, what is this? Expected. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, we're all good. Now we have 3 levels of nested objects. It's better than 4, so. What's going on over here? Auto merge failed. That's fine. So that's rename reorganization number 1. Oh, by the way, did I update this? Done. Update this. Okay. All right, so similarly to that, we can do this, right? So instead of calling this reference rule, we can call this query plus rule. And then just declare this thing inside. And then we'll drop this word. And then we rename. Oh, I've done it once. Oh, at some point I wanted to rename it rule query, apparently. Call it query.rule. Okay. Here. Okay. All good. Let's do the last part, which is USR query. This we can also call query plus USR. And then we also tuck it in. under here. And then I'll just type from scratch. Huh? Oh, crap. Okay, so that's all the renaming I want to do. Let me think about this. Yeah, we definitely renamed a bunch of things. So let's just stage everything. Yeah, Git couldn't figure out, like, for example, this is a rename, which is not a big deal. Let me see. Sure, we'll find some redundancy in terms of overqualifying the namespace, the outer namespace, but I'm not too worried about that. For example, right here, I believe it's probably an overqualification. Well, so now we have very commonly 3 levels of namespace. I mean, 2 levels in the namespacing, resulting in the 2 dots in our whatever. I'm not gonna overthink it. Okay. Actually, let's do this. Reorganize query PIs. They are shorter because better name spacing. All right. Oh. Oh, this is a mess. Wait, did I not merge it? What the heck is going on? No, this actually looks right. Okay. All right, we're done with this. Okay, so I think next we'll have a main event, as they say. First main event, which is gonna involve some big, maybe not big, but feels like something big. So what we're dealing with next is we need to refactor the engine so that it can deal with multiple. Actually, you know what? I think the last thing is not done. I regret to report. We didn't do a thorough job. Come on. Let me put this back. Because there's also this guy. This guy should also be a top level object. Okay, so let's write it to sources clue finding.swift, and then I'm gonna delete this guy, reindent here, and then deal with whatever. Wait. Okay, that's it. So let's add this to commit. Make finding global 2. Yeah, now we're done. For now. For now. Okay. Okay, let's tackle the next one. This one is big because it requires me to rethink what this clue engine is. Right now, it's just a namespace. Everything is static. It's stateless, you might say. But the problem is one of the states is very potentially inefficient to create. So when there's a Swift project, it's built. It creates an index store database. The first thing we do to perform any query is to read that database or create a handle to the database rather, which requires locating it and load up the libindex store library. Hit the disk, read the database, create the handle. Yeah, all of that. So not only creating a handle, but also there's operation where we explicitly suck it up into the memory. All this right now happens per query. But what if you want multiple queries? On a command line level, unless we make some sort of a daemon, it doesn't matter that much because each time we invoke a command, we just redo all that work again. But on a library level, I definitely want to provide that service where you can just create this resource once, hold on to it, and no longer having to do it again for your multiple queries, right? That totally makes sense. So the question is, what is the proper API to do that? I mean, there are two options, right? One, we give the user the database reference so they can hold on to it themselves. We also give them an option to skip the initialization step if they give us such resource back. That's one way to do it. Yeah, so where we call, when you call execute, you can provide a database index store, right? That's one way to do it. Another way is we ask user to instantiate. I mean, either way, they need to hold on a resource. So it's just a matter of arrangement, like what feels better, actually. Substantially, everything is the same. We can also make this namespace a stateful thing where it holds the database once it's initialized, and then ask user to manage that, which could be more conventional, I guess. You know, yeah, more conventional, less functional. But who cares about functional? It's Swift. Everybody uses object to hold their states, right? Yeah. Yeah. That I can't think of too much things against it other than my own bias for things being a little more functional. But again, we need to think about our users. So let me do just yet a little more organization things. Engine. Glue engine. Actually, I could just call it engine, but you know, it might not be on the user side. It might not be as clear because most people, again, users probably won't include their module names, which is clue. So most people won't write clue.clue engine. They just write whatever the symbol name is by default exposed by importing the module. Therefore, it's kind of vague in your code base if you just say engine. What engine, right? So I can force them to write clue engine. Might be better. Okay, so that's task number 1. Very simple. Task number 2, let's make this guy a struct so that it can hold a state. Not gonna make it public. Dex store db. Yeah. So wait, can initializers? I mean, it can also hold on. Oh, no, it cannot hold on a query. Can initializers? Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, so this forces me to yeah. All right. This forces me to break off the query object again, because query object right now, it includes the information needed essentially for this part. The query.store, now it's something that you need to give to initialize this object, right? Okay. And then essentially, we just take this whole thing and do this. And we no longer do this. Let's convert this into a method as well. As a method, it will no longer take this. Everything else should remain the same. Similarly, our public method. Yeah, I need to change the definition of query. Yet again. But for now, let's keep it as is. We don't need to do this anymore. Similarly, we can delete this guy. Okay, that's simple enough. So I think for the most part, this file is dealt with. We need to, yeah, I don't know whether I should do this now because it doesn't make sense to have the query organized like this anymore, because store now is just a piece of state needed to initialize the engine. And let's dig in a little. In store, there's just two pieces of information, right? There's a string to the living index store and a location. So I could just not have this object at all, because the complexity is actually in the location, is already a sub object, and we can avoid using a, let me think. But also, it also has this enum. This is the nice part, is like the store has a failure object that's distinct. But if I want to get rid of this store object, this namespace, that means I need to somehow merge these with some other failure objects. But this is a fairly complex kind of object. So maybe it can be a another top level error by itself. Yeah, design problems. Let me think. So what I'm thinking of right now is, what I'm most leaning towards is something like getting rid of this, right? Make this a top level object that's like store location, right? And then this will have to be, oops. something like store in store location or initialization error, something like that. Is this actually used? Yes. Yeah, see, yet another thing that... Oh, this is not bad. Not too bad. We can just do this, right? That's easy. I was going to say, that could be another thing that I have to move around because of the removal of this namespace. But might not be as bad as I thought. Okay, let's throw this into its own file. Sources, clue, store, initialization, error. Get rid of this. We can even update our documentation a little. We can say throws store initialization error. That's a little better in terms of public API. Yeah, so now this is a store. So now it's a little better. Lib index store path. This one is optional. And store location is not optional. Right? I see, I see. So what kind of things does this guy throw? The only thing it could... Wait, does it throw anything? Yeah. Interesting. So this thing actually... I don't know why this needs to be public. It could be a useful API. So it doesn't hurt to be public, I guess. But I think it could be located in our store query object. Store location object. Meh. It's not about the store location per se. It's more about the the index DB store location. All right, fine. So lib store path, or we try to call that function whatever it was. It was default path to blah blah blah. And I think we need to resolve some precedence problems here. Wait. What was this error? Okay. I probably want to wrap this this guy as well, so that it does throw the things I promise it does. So let's do this. Catch. And then throw store initialization error invalid. Let's call it invalid path to lib index store. And then we'll throw in the underlying error in there. And this is not gonna be as user friendly as possible, because we're dealing with errors thrown from foundation, as well as, and if the Swift compiler for some reason output some invalid JSON from this command, then we may have to catch it. It's not a super important detail, because most of the time this should succeed. Famous last words, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Wait. I have two invalid lib index store. When do I throw this? I already have an object like this. Perfect. Oops. Let's include engine. Line 10. Oh, maybe I can wrap them all into the same object. Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is good. So instead of an extra thing that I did over here, I can handle them all together. Do this is not as nice, huh? Let's just use a different name. And then this should be okay. And then we can, well, we don't let here, we just do. And then also call this here, right? Oops. And we don't do this mild stuff anymore. And throw this error here, tucking the underlying error. And then do I need to update that? Yes. Also, apparently I do this sometime. That's fine. Wait, actually, let me take a look. Store location. File system error. Oh. I see. So I need to kind of rethrow that one, if that's, I see. So if it's already dealt with, we just throw that again. Otherwise, we do this. Okay. So we have the library path. We're going to use the library path here. And then we have the lib index store. And then we go on our merry ways, right? No. What? This type is wrong. What is the type for lib index store? It's this. Okay. Yep, and then as part of the initialization, probably the most expensive part, we pull for unit changes and wait. And then we do that once because, and then for the remainder, we no longer need to do it because now we have the state essentially cached in the object, right? Let's move this baby up because it's public. Everything else can stay below it. All right. Let's see what syntax we need to update. This is, I believe, oh yeah. Store initialization. Failure. Wait, store initialization failure. Failure and error. Error feels better. Failure. Error is more intuitive. Right. Right. This need to go out. I don't need you anymore. And then there's every time this is referenced, we need to change it. Okay, let's do that. Initialization error. Okay. Wait, is this not how you do it? Store initialization error. What's am I messing up the syntax here? Damn. I'm a professional Swift programmer. Swift catch error type. Yeah. Let's read the book. Try catch where. Oh. Do I just I don't need to cast? Is this what you want? Okay. Wait, what? It's not store query. Oh, it's not called store query anymore? Oh, right. This thing doesn't exist anymore. Lib index store string. What else? Store location, right? Store location. Right. So what is the I mean, this is a pattern, right? Oh. No. This is a particular value, but I want to type. That's why. I could swear it's like error as maybe it's the question mark. Yeah, it was the question mark. Okay. All right. This will be store location. Right. This guy. Oh, yeah. This is the result. And we. Huh. Yeah, that's uncomfortable because the query, this is like things, once you start down the line of storing state, you kind of have to keep them around for a lot. Let me think. Is it important that the output in the most extensive form include information such as where is your index store DB library and where is your index store? I think it is, because I can imagine like a infra team getting a bug report using our tool, and they ask for this JSON output, and then they get back and they can use the information to diagnose like what is the user holding it wrong or something, right? That's very important actually. So maybe we can just move these guys over here and sort of, yeah, right? Make this a little bit more explicit. This is okay, right? Yeah, and then we need to update here. Index store would be self.lib path, and then the store location. Oh, right. This would be the location. store location. Which means I still need this guy declared as a internal. Right. I need to initialize store location. Actually, you can do this earlier. Or later. Yeah, earlier is fine because you're using it here. What? Yeah, later. Let's do it later. What am I doing? Bro. Okay. All right, we're moving on to the test first. Let me think about this, right? So this will actually speed up our tests as well. Now, actually, I want to take a little bio break real quick. Be right back. Okay. Boop. I realized something. I don't want to take advantage of I don't want to take advantage of our changes in our tests because each test should reinitialize the whole state because it's that kind of integration test. Or unless So the simplest thing I can do here is just move a couple of lines around. So like this information and this information is the perfect amount to initialize the engine, right? We can call this engine, and then engine dot execute query like this. What is the value of this? It's some convenience value, I believe. Yeah, it's literally just this. So I'm already that's fine. It speeds up the test a little bit. Now the question is, do I want to recreate this engine every time, right? Is that something I'm testing? Or is that some details that doesn't need to be part of the test? So I could do something like this, and then, or rather, yeah, it has to be done like this because I cannot initialize it until this happens, right? So we can do this, and then this is simply just this. Oh, right. This feels wrong. Feels wrong. It's not terrible. You could say it feels wrong because all these functions can be static as well. Now this feels less wrong, but it means I need to update everything below. So whenever I call this, I need to call self dot. Okay. Oh, now we moved on to the. Sorry, we moved on to the command line interface. So we're getting close. Of course. I don't know why like XCTest the global setup function doesn't have the throw with setup with error version, which is very strange. Very strange indeed. What's this? Oh. Okay. Engine is clue engine. Lib index store path. Would be this. Oh, store location is this. So we can delete these guys. We good? We're good. Okay, so now, very subtle change, but now you can hold on to this object and then call execute multiple times. Very cool. Very cool. Let's just do a sanity check. Wait, did I do that? Yep, looks about right. Okay. This is make engine hold store states. This patch makes it possible to run multiple queries from a single store read. Multiple. Okay. Multiple. Okay. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's come up with more things, right? There are a number of directions we can go from here. We can add more tests. We can add, we can enhance the command line interface essentially. Let me think. What's this? So yeah, this is interesting. We could take the current working directory and guess whether a index store, where the index store is, right? But I feel like the problem with that is it seems too magical. Like it sets a user expectation up where you can just give me any symbol, I'll just give you the references. But in reality, there's work that I ask users to do beforehand, which is generate the index store, which is not something they do explicitly, but they need to, for example, build the modules that they want to query for. So performing this step automatically is problematic in that way. But on the other hand, I can. This is a bad path to take. I'm gonna delete this because I can already see it, right? Like a user just like, hey, let's like brew install clue and then run brew install clue, my symbol, bam, doesn't work, right? I throw out an error. I do infer the location, and then I start running, and then it says, hey, you have an invalid index store. And then now they kind of are like stranded in a position where they don't know what to do. Like, we essentially skipped the step, right? Where my expectation is I want them to read at least a little bit of documentation or learn a little bit of how things should work, as opposed to accidentally have it work sometimes, as their first impression. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not gonna delete that. We can add more tests. We can enhance the command line interface. For example, the output right now, we need to add a JSON output. We need to add colors to our output. Kind of like I'm thinking maybe the output format should be, we can copy from RG. As well as and all the errors we throw out should become a paragraph that explains the way to resolve them. Because I already explicitly designed all the errors to be something that you can follow up on. Well, most of them anyways. Yeah. Maybe I can work on the output. I kind of want to deal with the didSet and willSet though. That's interesting because I have no idea how to do it. I mean, yeah, how to work with it as a user. That's interesting. Yeah, let's work on that. Okay. So let's begin by adding some tests. Public struct didSet willSet. didSet willSet. Well, let's call it property with didSet willSet. willSet. Do you get a new value? New value. didSet. Oh, let's do something. I don't know. A little more realistic, I guess. All right, so now that I have this, let's do this. Okay, let's call it in two places. And then, yeah, I don't know what to expect. Maybe we'll have to do another crazy refactor to deal with this. Well, who knows? Test didSet willSet. I'm just gonna throw in the test property with didSet willSet, and then this will fail, but we'll also get some output. Wait, how do you run a particular test? Oh, doesn't matter. Oh. Something isn't right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we did find one instance. Oh, this is crazy. You know what? This might cause us to undo a change we did yesterday. Okay, let's see. Oh, we found 3. Yeah, see, this is interesting, right? We found 3 use cases, but they are just the straight up write instances. So how do you find the didSets? Let me experiment a little. So in the engine, okay, let me turn on this, right? And then we'll see what happens. Perfect. Now we have an ambiguous, well, hold on. We have some ambiguous stuff, which is good because this will give us the clue, I hope. That we need. Well, didSet, willSet. Still only found 3 references. Let me find all symbol names. Oops. And then filter it. Filter. Things. Symbol name. For each print. Let's give it a little chevron here. All right. Huh? Oh, symbol. Oh. So you literally just prefix it with didSet and willSet. That's pretty interesting. I mean, this could be something we just document and tell user what to do, as opposed to support it in an API level. I feel like it could be something. I mean, it could be acceptable. Otherwise, it's a little ambiguous. Like, we have to come up with some sort of special API for it. Yeah. So, you know, I see. I understand now. So this will never have, even though it exists as a symbol definition, it probably never will be called explicitly in code, right? Yeah, see, I found a definition here, right? But even though it is being called in runtime, on the source code level, it's not explicitly called. Therefore, index store won't have a reference to it. That makes sense. That's very interesting. That's a revelation. Yeah. Let me write some to-dos here. To-do. To-do. Document getter All right. So we don't need to worry about that because these things don't appear explicitly in code. Most of the time anyways. And user could use in documentation we should say like they don't normally appear in code Hence, we don't have conveniences for them. User need to know these I don't know, syntax to perform queries for them, usually to get their definition, but that's kind of strange. Okay, since they can just they are defined alongside property. Okay. Now I need to think about this, right? Execute query. Query has a USR and a role. Is this okay? Yeah, this is fine. All right, so what did we accomplish? What is all this? Oh, right. The tests. I don't think I need to do anything here. I deleted to do here, I deleted to do here. Some minor, oh, these changes don't need to be included. So let's include this. Definitely not this. This, yes. This, everything else is garbage. Okay. Delete a few to-dos. Well, arrange to-dos. Okay, I'm gonna discard all the other changes. Well, let me take one final look. Okay. Wow, is there a way to discard it from fugitive? Stage on stage. Reset is you on stage everything. Discard the change. Nice. Fugitive makes Vim a very decent Git client. No doubt about it. Okay. I think we need to work on the output. Command line output. Yeah, that's the next thing I'm sort of excited about to work on. So right now, make debug. Right now, our command line user experience is like this, right? It's definitely just temporary. Ideally, we should do something like, it should look more like this, right? As well, just as well, we need to be able to output a machine-friendly format. 1 or 2 machine-friendly format. Yeah. So we need to add the command line option for that, as well as of course, the actual implementation for it. So let's work on that. Let's give it an option, right? Help. Output format. So let me think about this. So we could support CSV. Machine friendly output, machine friendly format. Output and CSV. Either maybe CSV, definitely JSON, right? Or CSV. JSON will include a lot of metadata, like what is your query, where is your store, what is what is the canonical USR that we found and things like that. I mean, this could be an enum. Probably should be an enum. Yeah. This can be an enum too. Oh, that's another thing I can improve. This guy can be an enum. There's rules. Each of these value can be an enum. So we can leverage the well, let's do that later. I will add a to-do here. To-do sum of the strings could be an enum, which could for which we could benefit from or keep it simple for now because I need to implement it as well. So the default value would be either readable JSON yeah, and then for readable we'll automatically turn colors on and off. No, actually, should be explicit type. Readable colored. Default. Yeah, so when it's readable colored, we'll automatically turn off the color anyways. Yeah. Yeah, these definitely should be enums later. Okay, so in our main function, we need to respect those output formats, right? There's a point where we get the result, and right now we simply iterate over the occurrences and do a bunch of stuff. Oh, okay, let's implement at least one thing today. Let's set up the abstraction for this, right? The abstraction for this is we have a finding object. And then we want to output it into various formats. So we can have a finding formatter. It's really just from a finding to string sort of a thingy. It could be it could even be a bunch of computed properties on finding, really. And also, I kind of want to get rid of this. Yeah. Actually, All right. Really, this should be. I think I'm right now leaning towards a bunch of free floating functions because it's really well. Mm, not sure. Not sure. Readable. Because really, all these things is just a function, right? And then I mean, they could be extensions. Let me think. I'm definitely overthinking this. 100% overthinking this. So we could do this, or we could do format readable, and then finding, and then something like this, right? But are these really that different? It's just the functions feels a little better because they could perform side effects such as checking whether we're writing to a TTY, right? Interesting. Yeah, so this one, for example, potentially it could take, well, yeah. I mean, this one could take another parameter. It's like colored, right? And then it can do either or. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of torn. kind of hard. This one is hard. You know what? Let's why not both, right? Let's do it this way because it minimizes the number of variables. So we have readable format. I kind of want to make a folder for this. Output. This is almost like a sub module or something. And then we can move this guy into output. Okay, readable output. And then CSV. I'm just sketching out the skeleton here. JSON. I mean, these are essentially the same thing, right? They're just extensions. CSV does not have color or not. CSV, JSON also doesn't concern itself with colors. I bet I missed the parentheses here as well. Okay, let's implement a crude version of this first. We just take our occurrences, right? And map it to location string, and then join it with separator new line, and that's it. So our main, we can give that a small test. Say result dot readable output, colored, doesn't matter, and then we just print it. Okay. So we recreated the old user experience. Now we can extend so let's make an enum case readable colored for case CSV, case JSON, and then Okay, output format. Okay, looks good. So we set up the skeleton for formatting different for outputting different formats, right? So I can say this would get me a fatal error, I hope. Output CSV. Yep, it's a fatal error which we called. So instead, I can also say placeholder, please to do in on CSV formatting. Similarly, we can just say JSON formatting, and then we make debug So the flags are working. And it doesn't matter the case. I can say JSON SpongeBob case, and everything should be fine. And can also say readable. Readable. Yep. Readable colored is also an option, but random values will give us this prompt. Great. Formatting infra. Set up skeleton for output formatting. Okay, so we have 2 more to-dos. Perfect. I don't feel like implementing all the formats today. What I do want, which has been bothering me as I was working on that, is to leverage argument parser to validate our enum values. So there are a few, if I recall, a few option values that should be that has like candidates, right? So for the thing we just worked on, we have 4 values, and then the symbols kind can also be an enum. And the rules, a list of, and the rules for both can also be an enum. I mean, yeah, they could also be an enum. So let's read some documentation. Oh, by the way, I only had like 3 hours of sleep last night, so I'm really drowsy. Let's read, not this, argument parser. Swift argument parser. I'm pretty sure there are ways to express your interface as enums values. So let's look at what is the specific way to do that. I think the docs are inside the sources. I'm so triggered by this. Why do they do this format? Oh, so I can conform this thing to expressible by argument. And I can conform these values to raw representable. Or we can instead provide a throwing transform function that converts a parse string to your desired type. This is what I want, yes. Okay, let's do that. This is the perfect use case for that. Transform, it will be output format dot init. And then what kind of error do we need to throw? Message property will be displayed. Throw a validation error. Okay. I'd say that makes it reasonable to move this outside of, because this is strictly part of the interface now. All right, so we need to make this guy throw. And then in the default case, we'll throw a validation. Well, we'll have to import it. Import argument parser. And then we have to throw a validation error, right? Wait, where is validation error? Validation error. Validation error. Is it defined here? I guess it is. Okay. The nice thing is we already wrote the logic for it, so that's really nice. This would be an output format, right? Okay. Believe the string we have is here. Okay, this could be really nice. This means I no longer need this, right? Because the argument parser will take care of that. Options.format. Okay, pretty please. Swift seemed to think I want to inherit from myself, which is kind of hilarious. Wait, this is wrong. This is bad. Hold on. Readable, colored. This is too explicit. Oh, let's test it first. Build readable bad value. Value error is invalid for output. Perfect. So I can simplify my error message there. And trim the first sentence. choose from. Okay. Okay. So these help messages needs to be expanded way more, but for now we'll ignore it. So the problem is one of these values is not very good. Readable. So the user-facing options should be automatic and then readable uncolored, right? So that should call it readable. Readable means uncolored. But internally is readable colored versus readable not colored. I mean, now this is just a raw representable, right? Raw representable. I mean, we can delete all of this, I think. This could be way simplified, I think. Let me check. Options. to do false if not writing to a TTY. Readable is synonymous to readable output colored false. Okay. Oh, I need to also conform it to expressible by argument. Okay. Actually, this is kind of neat because now I can move this back into the folder I want it to be. It can just be there not knowing that it's part of the interface. Right? And then here I extension parsable arguments. Oh, expressible by argument. Couple of misspellings. Readable colored. Oops. Okay. The value is invalid for option. Help. So the help should be automatic, readable. Okay, it's slightly less information than before. I think this is something to improve in the argument parser case, right? So if your if the output format, well, if the option type is case iterable, you should list out the possible cases, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing done. Now I also want to make the rules something. Let me see. Right, there's kind and rule. Both should be hopefully expressible. By arguments. So if I understand correctly, we already have most, if not all, things needed to make a symbol role expressible by argument, right? Yes. So the question is, once it is expressible by argument, can I do this? Uh, oh, then I lose the, well, let's try it. Hold on. Options dot rules options dot exclude rules. Then I can delete all of this. I mean, that's a big win, right? Oops. Oh. That's true. So I still need to join them. Wait, how do you do this? Self dot reduce into, right? Does this work? Oh, I have to declare it. Does this work? Oh, let's do roles ABCD. ABCD invalid for roles base of. Base of is invalid. How come? Base of. Oh. Wait, so this is a bug. It should say return, right? Wait, no. What? So this was never called? Init. Oh, it has to say argument. Okay. How is this supposed to work? I have my type, right? Symbol role. I have init. The only difference from the official example is that Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Why isn't this using... Let's try a single value and see what happens. Right, so before this wasn't used at all, which is pretty strange. That's maybe another thing to improve. Huh. Okay, taking a break. Be right back. So I'm thinking, let's look at the issues for argument parser and see if anyone else runs into this. String help and completion. V does not work. Custom fish do not work. Looks like I should fix this because I'm the author of this. Option not being parsed correctly. Yes, I was thinking about this myself. Yeah, looks like we can hack on this a little bit because there are a few things that I don't like. I like to be able to get an array of string arguments from already initialized parse-up argument type. Okay, let me just search for expressible. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Let me undo my changes for this guy for now. Don't need any of this. And these ones, I'll just keep our old stuff. And in our options, these should go back to string. Okay. Anyways, it's pretty nice to be able to leverage the framework to do validations for your cases. Let me just attach this to the current pull request. Use parser to invalidate. So argument parser, as far as I can tell, needs quite a few enhancements. Some of the common ones people are already reporting. Namely, like when you have a case iterable for options, either the error message or the generated help should list the array of stuff, array of correct values. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, I think this part of my work is done. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I've done quite a bit today. Happy about it. I will try to see if I can improve the argument parser a little bit. Yeah. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for watching.